Hello viewers, welcome to my program Candid Talk from Northeast. Today I have with me eminent short story writer and award-winning film critic Apurba Sarma. Apurba Sarma was awarded the prestigious Sahitya Academy for his collection of short stories Baghe Tapurati in 2000. He is also recipient of Swarna Kamal, Golden Lotus in the National Film Award for Best Film Critic for his book Ohomia Salocitrar Sa Puhor in 2002. In 2015, he was awarded the Ochum Valley Literary Award for Literature. He was also a jury member of National Film Award in 2005 and 2007. Apurba Sarma has 7 collection of short stories and 3 books on films to his credit. He was also the principal of Nagaon Girls College. Today, we will talk primarily about his contribution to the literary world. Welcome to my program, Mr. Sarma.
Yeah.
Welcome, sir. My first question is, you have been sincerely involved in creative writing in Assamese language for over 6 decades. You are known for your unique experimentation and style while telling a story. How have you drawn to this beautiful world of Assamese literature?
I wonder. It possibly began quite early in my childhood. There were 3 wooden almirahs full of books in my house.
Yeah.
My mother, who had only elementary education, used to read and interpret the epics and other storybooks to me in my childhood. And see, then by 12, surprisingly, she read to me and interpreted the Bengali version of Dickens's novel, A Tale of Two Cities.
Yes.
I barely understood it, but that was possibly the beginning of my attraction towards literature. My eldest brother, the celebrated Assamese playwright Arun Sharma, he began writing when I was still in school, and I could know that my eldest brother is a writer. But it was my next elder brother, a brilliant scholar and a veritable bookworm, who introduced me to the literary world of Bengali literature and English versions of the world literature. That is how I came to be acquainted with literature and became gradually drawn towards it. It seems I grew up in an atmosphere of literature.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, thank you. So you are known for experimentation and style in creativity. Most of your stories are like a workshop for us. They portray vivid realities of contemporary societies and issues. There are so many layers in your stories. So reading your stories is always a joyful exercise and also a learning process for us. So, would you please elaborate us about the process of writing your stories? Do you go for field study or depend on your own observation?
Thank you, Ratna, for your uh, critical appreciation of my writings. Uh, Frankly, I don't go for any field study to
Okay.
find background to my stories. Uh, I may honestly say that I have been a keen observer of people, the things, of places around me from my childhood. And I try to connect this, my readings of the people, of places, of things to the happenings around me. And I try to find in what way these are connected the lives we are living. Uh, this probably provided me a proper background to go for writing and to find the backgrounds of the stories that I would be writing in future.
Mhm. Okay. Okay. So in literature, you always try to connect individual grief of a character or characters in the context of larger and deep social reality. You always try to make an invisible world become prominently visible to your readers. How do you do that? And what is the craft? I mean, some of your stories are
The
really
cra-
mesmerizing story. Yeah.
uh, you are trying to peep into the magician's mind. uh, Actually, I don't know how I do it if I really do
Okay.
it. Uh, I had honestly tried to leave. That I can say that I leave the village in which I live,
Mhm.
and I try to read the people. I try to see their lives, the conditions they were living, the and this possibly gave me the background for the stories which I was later going to create. I had witnessed personally or heard from close quarters the events and happenings
Mhm.
that form the curtains of my stories.
Mhm.
Maybe the stark realities thus came alive in my
Mhm.
writing, for which people get attracted to them and they find reflections of their own lives in my story.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So please tell us the background of one of your most colorful stories, that is Baghetapurati or the Night of Baghetapu. How did you pick up those beautiful metaphors in that story?
Well, despite the splendor of the huge roaring river, the lonely sandy river island,
Mhm.
the huge blue sky,
Mhm.
the story speaks of the simplicity of life of the two characters haunted by cruel fate.
Mhm.
I was just trying to have a deep look into the meat of life itself. As older students in my high school, we had the occasion to visit these river islands
Yeah.
twice, and we spent night there because it was a night spending picnic. And there I viewed the nature in its true form, the river, the island, the scattered people here and there, and
Mhm.
the night ruling over the river and the island. These things I saw there when I
Yes.
was picnicking there as a child. Now, the beauty of the nature
Mhm.
as against the betrayal of faith and hardship of life for those segregated souls living in the island, searching after the meat of life, left a deep feeling in my heart for a long time.
Yeah.
And it was maybe uh, after 10 or 12 years of my
Mhm.
experiencing this reality that I
Mhm.
transferred it to my stories.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah, that's reading Baghe Tapurati was such a wonderful experience for readers like us. And you have written so many stories, and one of them is Moziat Test or Blood on the Floor, which is a very powerful story on the backdrop of armed conflict situation in Assam. Would you please tell our viewers about the background of that particular story? What made you to write that? And do you think that it is a duty of a writer to write on contemporary issues from the perspective of common people or mass?
Yes, that's a very disturbing story.
Yeah.
The background of this story is the most disturbing, terror struck socio-political scenario of Assam in the uh, last century, the 1990s of the last century. That's to be perfect. When Assamese youth seeking freedom,
Mhm.
independence, uh, that was and which was ruthlessly and diabolically countered by the armed forces, killing, disabling the hundreds of youths, molesting, raping girls and women, creating generally a horrendous situation in the state. It was common experience for the people in the village at the time to spend sleepless nights of anxiety,
Yeah.
fear, uncertainty, and violence. I had personal experience of a family undergoing such trauma from a friend of mine. Yes, I honestly believe that it is an author's conscientious duty to record the time and life of the people he belongs to.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, sir, and in your stories, silence often plays an important role to reveal different perspectives. Most of your characters actually live in loneliness. They're as if they are bound to live in loneliness under certain circumstances. They behave perfectly to respond that particular situation. It is really difficult to portray silence in literature. I mean, for paintings or for art, other form of art in cinema, it is relatively quite easier. But it is in literature, it is really it is a very difficult task. How do you portray silent in literature in so many so different perspectives and backdrops? Do you adopt certain technique to describe
Ratna,
silence? Yeah.
Ratna, I have to reveal personal side of my life
Yeah.
here in replying to this question of yours. Despite being a normal human being,
Yeah.
I often have a feeling that I have an inner life which I cannot share with others. I don't know if this secret feeling of being lonely is reflected on the characters I create. The characters in my song are lonely. They spend a desolate life and so deep in silence,
Yeah.
living in their own silent world. Possibly, this personal uh, inner life of mine is
Mm-hmm.
reflected in the characters I create.
Yes. Yeah, even today I have written one of your most celebrating stories, that is Dhonda. I mean, you have created silence in so many diversified characters like Dhonda and Beli in Baketa Purati, then Gopal in Gopal Eta Bhallora, and in so many and so diversified ways. It is always such a mesmerizing experience actually. And also, apart from silence, nature is also a major character in your literature. How do you observe nature? I mean, you talk about village life. You also talk about town, city life in some stories, and nature is always there. How do you observe nature in literature?
Uh, See, born in a village, I was as if brought up in nature itself.
Mm-hmm.
We had a huge garden in our backyard with full of fruit-bearing trees.
Mm-hmm.
And beyond that, we had a dense wood which also belonged to us. We had a dense wood full of huge trees and bamboo groups. And I always used to roam there whenever I find time.
Mm-hmm.
There was a small river
Mm-hmm.
going by our village home, in which I used to bath and swim for hours.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when the river is full and
Yeah.
forbidding, we'd sail upstream
Mm-hmm.
on makeshift boats made of banana, big banana trees. So
Mm-hmm.
this way, I became a very, I became very close with
Mm-hmm.
nature, river, forest, and all that people in the village. The, the stories I built around the people belong to this natural environment.
Mm-hmm.
But you yourself have visited so many places, the villages and distant places. So you know
Yes.
how, how nature you how the nature in the places you visit
Yeah.
affect, affects you,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
how it's completely mesmerizes you. So that
Mm-hmm.
is how once
Yeah.
you get the nature inside you, it is very easy to create
Yeah.
create in your writing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. I do not know how many of our young researchers they have taken your study short stories for research purpose, but there are so many elements to research for research in your stories, like human relationship, then nature, silence, and I really it is. It is really wonderful, and most of your short stories are they are based on larger context. You really they are not actually short stories. You really write very long stories, and they are very intense and create profound impact on readers' mind. Many of them actually carry elements of a novel. As a writer, you are still highly creative and vibrant. Have you ever thought of writing a novel?
Uh, Thank you for your assessment of my stories. And yes, my stories are quite long, generally.
Yeah.
I've, I've written short stories too, shorter stories too, but
Mhm.
generally my stories are long. And they are each over a wider, uh, what is it called, a wider canvas about the lives and the uh, uh, times of the people I have seen and lived with. So, but no, no. It has never occurred to me to write a novel.
Okay.
Writing a novel appears to me as too draining. It's too draining. It's too draining a job, and I find it sort of confusing.
Okay.
No, it is beyond me. Writing novel is beyond me.
Okay. 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 So, why, according to you, writing in mother tongue is important in present day context?
Well, writing in mother tongue to me is not only important, it is the duty of a writer to write whatever he writes,
Mhm.
especially creative writing, in his own language. Because you are writing for the people whom you belong to. So
Mhm.
obviously, you have to write in your own language to reach the
Mhm.
people. So that is one thing. And secondly, when you hear about the many languages with small number of speakers
Mhm.
dying out every year all over the world, you
Mhm.
get scared. You feel that sometimes if we do not culture our
Mhm.
language sometimes may die out again also. So
Yeah.
it is the sacred duty of a writer to write in his own language. Tremendous growth of internet communications and ever increasing use of English language by
Yeah.
netizens
Mhm.
seem to pose a threat to small languages like ours.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Okay. Uh, Sir, you are such a celebrity writer, particularly for us, for the young generation writers. We all love to we read your stories, again and again, several times, and each read is actually learning experience for readers like us. And if you meet, younger generation writers, would you like to say to them? Are you hopeful about their work?
No, yes, I used to meet them quite
Yeah.
often. I have been meeting our young writers quite often in book launching
Yes.
meetings and such other literary
Hmm.
fora. And in my speeches, I always try to tell them to develop a powerful language.
Yes.
First, to develop a powerful language and to pay attention to the thematic depth, thematic depth. of
Yes.
whatever they write. So I believe that to attain a higher level of success in literary works, the younger generation of writers must work hard, first enrich themselves with a powerful language, and read uh, abundantly. They select
Mhm.
successful literature
Mhm.
about around the world to
Mhm.
enrich their own creative power. So that's how I think they should go about writing their stories or novels, whatever they write. There will be challenges
Mhm.
uh, and from better and more formidable literature of other
Mhm.
languages, but challenges must be met.
Mhm.
That improving your own capacities, own
Yeah.
writing abilities, and the authors must delve to develop one. The writers must delve into their own minds to
Yes.
find more successful ways of to glory.
Yeah. They should overcome themselves, like
Oh yes,
own
they should overcome
limitations. They
themselves. They should,
yeah. Yep.
yes, they will have to improve upon their
Yes.
own work every
Very true.
day.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, Apurba Sarma sir. We hope you will continue to inspire and amaze your readers with your beautifully crafted stories and new experimentations in coming days. We shall wait eagerly for your stories. Thank you, viewers. I shall come back with a new guest in my next episode. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you, Ratna. Thank you very much. I hope
Thank you.
I could answer your questions
Yeah,
uh,
very much,
uh,
sir.
to
Yes.
your satisfaction. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.